So I do want you to, some of you will still want to do the FOIL. I do want you to do the box, the grid, okay? Because we're going to do more and more math, and the grid is very helpful. If we do a trinomial times a trinomial, so I want you guys all to practice. So this is example 2, practice drawing the grid. So on the notes, when I grade the notes, basically you need to write everything down that I write down. Okay, if you write down everything I write down, easy 100 points. Generally what happens is people start to get tired towards the end of class and they skip the last problem, or they don't write down the formula every time and all that stuff. Remember, I'm trying to get this in your brain 27 times. So this is a 2x3 grid. Perfectly drawn grid, I might add. So I'm going to put 7m here and plus 8 here. And then up here I'm going to say 3m squared plus 6m. Notice that Mr. Adams is writing down the positive and negative sign. Technically that's wrong to say it that way, but I say it that way because it helps you guys to remember what sign something is. Because if we put down the wrong sign when we multiply these out, we'll get the wrong answer. Right? So we're going to have 6 terms, and all 6 terms have to be right. Otherwise, the whole thing's wrong. So I just write it down as a reminder. Sometimes I'll even do positive 7m. So then multiply the numbers by the numbers. 7 times 3 is 21. What's m times m squared? M to the 3rd power, or m cubed. 7 times 6 is a positive 42. And then m times m is just m squared. 7m times 7 is just a positive 49m. Let's do the next row. Positive 8 times 3m. While I'm recording the video, this is awesome. I'm leaving it in. All right, here we go. 8 times 3m. What's 8 times 3? Positive 24, right? Then we tack on our m squared. 8 times 6 is a positive 48. Tack on the m. And then 8 times positive 7 is a positive 56. Now, one thing you could do is save yourself a step. Remember, Mr. Adams said that the diagonals are like terms. So I've got these two here. Those are like terms. In other words, they're both m squared. And then I've got these terms here. These are also like terms. They're m. Okay. So when I could kind of skip a step. I know you guys like to skip steps. So I could literally skip a step by just adding them up. So one last thing, I'm trying to get my fancy calculator. What do they do? Upgrade everything? Yeah. All right. Oh boy. There we go. All right, so let's just add that up. So I've got a positive 21 m cubed. And then the next thing I need to do is combine like terms. So 42 m squared plus 24 m squared. Isn't that 66? Let's double check. What do we have? 24 plus 42? Yeah, that's 66. So that's a positive 66 m squared. Now let's do 49 plus 48. We'll do that on our handy calculator. 49 plus 48. Now, could I do this in my head? Yeah, I could. But sometimes when I do stuff in my head, I don't do it right. So I like to double check on the calculator. So that was a positive 97 m. And then we tack on plus 56. And that is our final answer. Any questions on that? Yes?
Why don't you add the 21 and 66?
Oh, you know what? I wrote that down. I'm glad you said something. I made a typo, right? That should have been m cubed. That's a great question. The student said, why don't you add those up? They're both m squareds. Well, Mr. Adams wrote down the wrong answer. Okay, see what I mean by making mistakes? Any other questions? Why does Mr. Adams make mistakes? That's a good question. Even as I said it, I made a mistake grammatically. Anyways, I'll leave this up here for a second so you guys can finish writing it down.